Good afternoon, California. Congratulations on making it into the final 10. My name is Fred Ansell. I'm an attorney with the Justice Department.
Good afternoon. My name is Candida Steele, and I'm a judge with the U.S. Division Board of Contract Appeals, and I hear government contract disputes all over the country.
Team California, my name is Rick Hardy. I'm one of the Hardy boys. I'm a professor and chair of the Department of Political Science at Western Illinois University. I teach constitutional law, and I've been involved in this program since 1987. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, we're Unit 4 from Arcadia High School, Arcadia, California. Our unit focuses on how the Constitution influences American institutions and practices. Before we introduce ourselves individually, we would like to acknowledge and thank our teacher, Mr. Kevin Fox.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Amanda Kalis.
Hi, I'm Madison Cassidy.
Hi, I'm Shen Wei.
Hello, my name is Sanvi Party.
Hi, I'm Tim Senator.
Okay, in Unit 4, the question today is number 3. Congress is the only national legislature in the world whose members are elected both separately from the executive branch and entirely from single-member districts. What are the benefits or advantages of this arrangement? What might be the advantages of mingling executive and legislative powers, such as in the British parliamentary system? The disadvantages? Why has the creation of congressional districts been controversial throughout American history?
The American system of electing members of Congress, separate from the executive branch from single-member districts, has the primary benefit of encouraging deliberative, limited government.
Independence of the legislature from the executive makes ambition counteract ambition, as Madison asserted in Federalist 51, and creates a constant tension between the two branches, encouraging limited government.
Simultaneously, election from single-member districts allows for the expression of regional interests, and thus many diverse perspectives in Congress, encouraging deliberation within the national legislature.
In 1992, Congress debated an energy bill that would have dumped radioactive waste at Yucca Mountain, Nevada. Nevada Senators Richard H. Bryant and Harry Reid promised to use a variety of delaying tactics to kill the bill.
Although clearly in the minority, the senators have since achieved the political, if not de jure, death of the waste management plan, as the New York Times asserted in March of 2009.
In contrast to the American system, mingling executive and legislative powers, as in the British parliamentary system, encourages responsive government at the expense of stability.
Because neither procedural checks and balances nor separation of powers exist in the British system, the majority party in Parliament rules uncontested. Therefore, there is no question as to where the blame lies in the aftermath of a bad policy or as to where the credit lies for a good policy.
Such accountability is advantageous because the government must be responsive to the popular voice in order to stay in power. At the same time, however, the system is disadvantageous due to its inherent instability, as party turnovers result in 180-degree policy turnovers as well.
For example, when the Labour Party passed the pay freeze in 1978 under leadership of Prime Minister James Callaghan, labor unions went on strike, resulting in what is now known as a winter of discontent. That spring, a vote of no confidence ousted the Prime Minister and the party from Parliament, resulting in a conservative takeover spearheaded by Margaret Thatcher.
Thus, an unresponsive Labour government was thrown out of office, exhibiting accountability, in favor of the radically different platform of the Conservative government, exhibiting instability.
Although not so in British history, the creation of congressional districts has always been controversial in American history. Gerrymandering, drawing district lines to favor a specific interest group, has been at the heart of the controversy.
Political gerrymandering homogenizes voting bodies by ideology, resulting in some partisan candidates that detract from the deliberative process.
In 2003, Republicans in Texas took advantage of their first majority in the state legislature in over 130 years to submit a redistricting plan that gave them a 21-11 majority in the House.
This was clearly disproportionate, as the earlier plan created by a federal core panel exhibited a 17-15 Democratic majority. Outraged, a group of Democrats known as the Killer D's left Texas in the process to prevent a quorum.
The Supreme Court's consequent ruling in League of Latin American Citizens versus Perry upheld the majority of the Texas redistricting map as constitutional, despite clear indications of political gerrymandering. But Congressional District 23 was struck down as an example of illegal racial gerrymandering because it unduly diluted the voting power of Latinos.
The court's ruling illustrated that using race as a primary factor in drawing districts is unconstitutional under the 14th Amendment. By contrast, political gerrymandering, while controversial, has never been ruled illegal because there are no manageable standards in the Constitution for the courts to base such decisions upon, as affirmed in the 2004 case Veith versus Jubileer.
Therefore, since partisan gerrymandering cannot effectively be combated through the court system, we support state independent redistricting commissions, a system already adopted in several states and soon to be introduced in California, to create competitive congressional districts that will restore deliberation in Washington. Thank you.
After the Bay of Pigs, President Kennedy called in the CIA director and said to him, if this were a parliamentary system, I would have to resign. But this is a presidential system, so you're going to have to resign. What do you think is the reason why that works differently in the two systems? And in that respect, which system do you think is the best?
Well, in the parliamentary system, there exists a vote of no confidence, which can quickly oust the prime minister. And furthermore, the shadow government, which is physically seated opposite of the current government in the majority, is a constant reminder of the accountability in place, because that shadow government, which is the largest minority party in parliament, can then take over. And also this shadow government can question the prime minister weekly on question time, which is nationally televised. And this televised debate would show that Kennedy's actions in the Bay of Pigs would surely result in a vote of no confidence if it were the parliamentary system.
I believe that our American system is better than the parliamentary system, just in the sense that we have a system of separation of powers, of checks and balances. So the president, like in the British parliamentary system, he cannot be voted out unless he would be either re-elected or his terms be ended. He's constantly being checked by the legislative branch as well as the judicial branch. So his power can't become too enormous, and it's always being checked.